this most patriotic of weekends, we salute those who serve and protect our new soccer nation. Today, the statesmen of the game, the devoted citizens of soccer, and the men who make you proud convene in our nation's capital. It's MLS Soccer Saturday, the red, white, and blue edition. Radio Shack presents MLS Soccer Saturday. Today, just a few blocks away from Washington Monument in the mall, we're live from RFK Stadium. The Screaming Eagles, one of the main fan supporter clubs for DC United, in attendance. Good thing you got the hat on today. It's a little warm, a little sunny in our nation's capital. MetroStars wearing the road whites, and the home side, DC United, is going to be broiling in their all-black unis today. DC leads this all-time series, 16 wins, 12 losses, 1 tie. We're underway. Ricardo Clark plays it back to Kenny Arena. Edgar Bartolomeo, his second MLS game of his career. Stoichkov pressuring Arena, who plays it back to Tim Howard. We'd like to thank Radio Shack and all of our Major League Soccer sponsors for allowing us to bring you today's game without interruption. Jaime Moreno taken down by Mike Petke, the former MetroStar. Moreno making his first start since April 26th.
Well, and Jaime Moreno, the former DC United, great part of those championship teams that seem like a distant memory now for DC United, who have missed the playoffs 3 consecutive years.
Those two guys part of a massive deal that saw them flip-flop sides. There is Amado Guevara. We mentioned him at the beginning of our broadcast. He's over the ball for this free kick. Sends it into the box. Ryan Nelson got his head on it. That will be a very deep throw-in for the MetroStars.
A dangerous free kick sent in by Amado Guevara. Very accurate. Nelson did well to get to it. Guevara, the longtime captain of the Honduras national team.
Richie Williams, another former United member, floats it in. Chino Alegria on the left side, starting the break for DC. Finds Christos Stoichkov. The lefty hammers one, looking for Curtis, broken up. And Ty, we take a look at your MetroStars starting 11. Tim Howard still between the pipes for the MetroStars.
And in front of him, a 4-4-2. That newest player on the left side, Bartolomeo, Edgar Bartolomeo, Forchetti Arena, the center back. Zadie, who's been called up to the Reggae Boys on the right.
Stoichkov lays it off. Nelson just goes wide off the deflection. And that'll be the first corner of the game.
Counterattack. DC quick on the counterattack here. Stoichkov sprung down the left side. He's got a head of steam, and he cuts the ball back beautifully. This ball's going in until it spins. That spin kept it out of the net.
And Howard did get a paw on it as well. Marco Echeverri drives it. Nelson goes up, can't connect. Metros can't clear. Alegria sends it back in, looking for Echeverri. That goes out of bounds. Goal kick for the MetroStars as we revisit again their starting 11.
Again, they're back for Forchetti, the Argentine, next to Kenny Arena. And Zadie in the midfield in what is really a 4-2-2-4. I'm sorry, 4-2-2-2 for the MetroStars, with Guevara and Clark getting into the attack, with Lisi and Williams holding back a bit more. And up front, Jaime Moreno, who's done so much for DC United in his former years here, and Mike McGee.
Plenty of players out of action for the MetroStars. Clinton Athas with the U.S. national team right now in Columbus, Ohio, as they get set for tomorrow's friendly versus Paraguay. Eddie Pope, Steve Jolly, also not here. Those are 3 guys who you can guarantee would be starting for the Metros if they were healthy. And we take a look at our DC United starting lineup.
DC United with Nick Romando in goal, and They're back to their more familiar 3-5-2. Nemov on the left, Ivanov, the Bulgarian international, on the right with Mike Petke, the former MetroStars player, in the center. A five-man midfield. Echeverry at the top, the main playmaker, but he'll get help from Alegria and Kovalenko as well. And Olsen is expected to buzz everywhere. Nelson has to watch Guevara. Up front, Hristo Stoichkov, former World Player of the Year with Ali Curtis.
Ali Curtis, just wide! Curtis has been amazing the last couple games for DC United. Ray Hudson told us before the game, he hasn't taken his game to the next level, he's taken it to the next planet.
Alegria has time to look up. A wonderful ball played in behind the defense with the outside of his right boot. And Ali Curtis just shaves it wide of the post.
Curtis with 2 assists Wednesday in their 3-1 win over Dallas. DC United also missing some key members. Ernie Stewart and Bobby Convey with the U.S. men's national team. Brandon Perdeau serving a 1-game suspension due to a red card he received Wednesday. Actually, it was 2 yellows that he received, equaling 1 red. Moreno slides one through. Richie Williams spins, hammered by Nelson. Ricardo Clark stutter step, keeps it alive. Kovalenko shoves, we play on. And Nick Vermondo brings in the cross. Eric Winalda, your early impressions on this one?
Pace is pretty good. I mean, I didn't anticipate them coming out with this much steam, but I'll tell you what, both teams, a lot of energy. Looks like, Stoichkov's come to play today.
And Stoichkov has stationed himself well out on that left side where he likes to operate. He finds more space out there, and he can play those cross-field darts. There's 50, 60-yard passes that are pinpoint accurate.
Well, the thing that he likes to do is if he gets to the line, usually what he just did is he'll cut the ball back, or he'll just bust that right to the near post. If he's a little bit further out, 18, 20 yards, you'll see a driven ball trying to get Ali Curtis or one of the forwards in behind.
Stoichkov with 2 goals in his last 3 games, and heat will be playing a factor on everybody, probably most particularly Hristo Stoichkov with his age. Heat index in the low 100s, they're saying right now, a 30% chance of a thunderstorm, so it is just nasty, sweltering, sticky hot today in DC. But the play has been very quick and active early on.
Guys, just to talk a little bit about that, about the Heat today. I spent a little time with the referees. They're very aware of it. There was actually a seminar at the beginning of the year. When games like this happen, there has to be a conscious effort for everybody to make sure that they take care of the players, make sure they get hydrated. And, they're aware of it. I think they're actually going to see how it goes. Maybe 20, 30 minutes into a game, might have to address it.
Here's Mark Lisi. Mike McGee, the rookie, slides one through, and Nelson is there. Alegria clears it to midfield.
Ryan Nelson for DC has already done a massive amount of work, pressuring in the MetroStars end of the field, but also getting back to support the back 3 of DC United.
Magical spin there by Bartolomeo, and he's bumped there by Marco Echeverry. And you'll notice number 10 for the black of DC United, Echeverry, no longer wearing that captain's armband. It has been passed on to Ryan Nelson. This is the 2nd consecutive game that Nelson has worn the captain's armband for DC United.
And a great deal expected of El Diablo Marco Echeverry today because he was rested on Wednesday night. DC United played that away game at Dallas, and so he's expected now to take charge and have the energy to run the midfield here.
Lisi, sliding tackle by Curtis to win it back. Stoichkov pops one up. Curtis showing his speed. Curtis, take it down in the box. We've got a PK, Kevin Terry all over it. No doubt about it. Edgar Bartolomeo.
Well, I'm interested in watching the referee and wondering why he's not reaching for a card as well, because a clear goal-scoring chance as Curtis gets the jump on Bartolomeo. Bartolomeo cleanly beaten, clips Ali Curtis from behind. Curtis had a clear goal-scoring chance. He's about to shoot. He's one-on-one with Tim Howard. There was another defender starting to come over. But, folks, that's a red card on top of being a penalty kick.
DC United 2 for 2 from the PK spot this year. Marco Echeverry converting both of them, and he has the ball in his grasp right now.
Boy, did Ali Curtis show a passing gear overdrive as he cruised in behind Edgar Bartolomeo.
It's a really smart play, actually, to actually get his body in front of him, forcing him to try and get to the ball, end up running into the body, and that's how you get a penalty kick.
Yeah, he cut off Bartolomeo's angle to the ball completely.
Echeverry looking for his 4th goal of the season. Got it! 1-0 DC!
Yeah, you could see that right there. That obviously is a foul. When you are the last man, that issue has to be addressed, if that's a red card or not.
Well, at a minimum, DC United gets their goal for Bartolomeo's clear, blatant foul on a clear goal-scoring chance. But how about a yellow card? At a minimum, something.
There was nothing. You know what I think? To the referee's defense, when something happens that early in a game, to change the complexion of the game that much might even be a mistake. So maybe there is a little bit of leniency there.
Leniency is the right word.
Eric, when have you ever been lenient with the referees?
I don't know. It's hot down here. Maybe that's what's getting to me.
You're softening up in your old age. Mike McGee with a bump and getting a brief lecture from Kevin Terry. DC United, they like to score first, and the numbers tell you why. 3-0-1 when they score first.
It's a really good start for DC. I think they have a really good attitude. You can see it in all of their actions today. And they're looking to take the game to them. I was listening to Ray talk to his team before the game, and he said, just be brave out there. That the word that he kept using is bravery, and that's definitely what they are right now.
Richie Williams. Guevara, double team, slides it through to Moreno, back to Guevara. Kovalenko is there. Benny Olsen, Echeverry, Kovalenko. That's a nice triangle of soccer right there. Out of bounds, off Echeverry, throw in for the MetroStars. 4th of July weekend, a big time for Major League Soccer. 2 games last night. Huge crowd in Colorado. Mark Chung, 2 goals, including the game winner in the 92nd minute. And in LA, the Revs and the Galaxy tie at 2s. LA remains unbeaten at home. And later tonight, 2 other games around the league. Dallas at Columbus, 7:30 Eastern, and Chicago at San Jose, 7 p.m. Pacific. Those 2 teams on top of their respective conferences.
If you go back to the play that led to the goal, Christos Stoichkov's vision and his skill with the outside of the left foot is what put the ball in behind the MetroStars defense for Ali Curtis to get the jump on Bartolomeo. So Stoichkov started off like a house on fire in this game, really steaming down that left side, and he's contributed with that pass where eventually Curtis was fouled for the penalty kick.
Little handball there by Olsen, quick restart. Jaime Moreno plays it off Namath. Jaime Moreno, DC United's all-time goal and point leader. Strange to see him wearing another uniform this season. Curtis taken down by Kenny Arena right at midfield.
That seems to be a common occurrence with Kenny. He just loves to just stop plays before they even start.
Well, it's a good tactic for Kenny Arena because, as we saw, Curtis's speed, his getaway speed, a problem if Curtis is able to turn. So Kenny Arena right on him is a smart play.
Arena was doing that last week, guys, versus Ante Razov in Chicago. Echeverry trying to slide that one through to Olsen. Petke heads it back to Raimondo. Ryan Nelson wearing the captain's armband today, and his role, it is not to be the white-collar manager.
I think I try and put a bit more of a blue-collar kind of attitude to the team. I think, you know, we've had a great team on paper in the past 2 or 3 years, but we haven't got the results. And you know, this club, which has obviously been very successful in the past, we need to get back to winning ways. And I think it's like a little blue-collar attitude that I try and bring back to the team.
Richie Williams has some blue collar in him, and he just blue-collared that post.
Richie Williams very alertly gets his shot off quickly, and he surprises completely Nick Rimando, who reacts late, and the ball clangs off the post, then into Rimando, and luckily for Rimando, not into the goal.
Echeverry heads away that corner kick. Williams wins it, back to Lisi. Wide open, Guevara on the right side. Sends it in, there's Rimando.
Well, a little wake-up call for Nick Rimando. Easily could have been the tying goal for the MetroStars. Richie Williams put it through some traffic. I mean, Rimando was obviously screened. By the time he saw it, it was going off the post.
Might have been a little bit surprised as well to see Richie Williams being the shooter. You know, I mean, Richie doesn't take a lot of shots. He's usually a passer.
Williams with 3 assists this season, 0 goals. Here's Ricardo Clark, the only member of the MetroStars who played in every single minute for them this season.
Well, Richie Williams saw that unbelievable goal that Ricardo Clark scored last week at Chicago. He says, I'm going to give one a try.
Hey, anything he can do, I can do better, right?
What a left-footed half volley into the upper corner by Ricardo Clark to knot the score. That's the Chicago Fire.
Juan Forchetti, his first season in MLS, swings it back. Edgar Bartolomeo, who was playing without a card, but was whistled for the PK foul, which led to our game's first goal. Mark Lisi spins. Moreno bumped off by Ivanov. Here's Alegria. Does the smart thing and finds Echeverry. Nelson, one-time ball. You guys are talking about Hristo Stoichkov lingering on that left side. Here he is all the way on the right side now.
He's an artist. He likes to freelance.
The whole field is his canvas.
Exactly.
Olsen trying to slide by Arena. Misses a hack by Bartolomeo, but gets too much on it. Throw in for the MetroStars. This week's Pepsi Pop Quiz. Which goalkeeper has started the most Major League Soccer games over the last 3 seasons? We'll have the Pepsi Pop Quiz answer for you in a couple of moments.
The MetroStars will need to regroup. We see Amado Guevara, their number 20. That means he's twice as good a playmaker
as a 10.
Coming up, almost becoming a third forward with Jaime Moreno and Mike McGee.
Craig Zadie, wide right, been called into the Jamaican national team camp. Will join the Reggae Boys after this game as they get set for Gold Cup play, which the U.S. men's national team is doing as well. The U.S. will take on El Salvador next Saturday at Foxborough Stadium, part of a triple header of soccer up at Foxborough at the CMGI Stadium. Ben Olsen looking for his first goal of the season. Hasn't scored since April 8th of 2000. Granted, he's been out of action due to several ankle surgeries. In our Radio Shack Coaches Corner, we started off with DC head coach Ray Hudson.
All right, Ray, you're off to a pretty good start here, getting the goal early. You talked about it in your team speech today. How do you feel right now?
We earned it, Eric. We had 2 chances before the penalty that we should have capitalized on. Started out well, but New York's a well-disciplined, mobile little team, and I think we're giving them a little bit too much respect in the midfield areas.
So what do you think about the fact that there was no yellow given on the actual penalty kick? I mean, is it a topic for you that you're thinking about at all?
Not right now. Not right. This is on high-definition television, is it, for me skin or anything, is it? No, not worried about that. That'll take care of itself later. But I think we earned the right to go ahead. There's no question.
All right, good luck the rest of the way.
All right, man.
Best sound bites in the league. Ray Hudson.
Stoichkov dropping very deep to spray balls around. I guess he'd rather spray them around than try to run and get on the end of them.
Here's Curtis, again another break in the box. Curtis couldn't connect on that one. Boy, has he had his chances today.
Well, and Forchetti, although not really staying step for step with Ali Curtis, gave him just, you'll see it right here. Forchetti gives Ali Curtis just enough of a bump right there to throw off his shot. And that's, you know, it's not necessarily within the rules, but it was effective there.
Mark Lisi dribbles by his man. Here's Moreno, Jaime Moreno. Lets one go and scores! Jaime Moreno! Take that, old team!
Well, this is one of the concerns, guys. You do not let Jaime Moreno have any kind of time. Look at this. He gets in a situation. Ray Hudson just talked about it. Too much respect. He just gave him that corner. And when you give a guy like Jaime Moreno the opportunity to pick out his corner, it's just going to happen just like that. Those guys, those defenders backed into their own 18. They've got to come up, step on that play a little bit earlier. I think Pecky could have done a better job for sure on that play.
Mike Pecky very slow to come out and pressure on Jaime Moreno, but what a cool, clean finisher.
Moreno, his second netter of the season. We are tied at once in the 20th minute.
And no chance for Raimondo. Ball slotted far post.
You know, it's interesting, though, but Ray just spoke about that. He just said, guys, you've got to get in there. You're letting them play a little bit too much. You've got to get in their faces. You've got to, you know, make them earn it. And you know what? On that play right there, they just let him run with the ball too far.
Here's Guevara. Clark, Williams. Guevara working Nelson, cuts inside. A little too much slide on that ball for Clark. Well won by Zadie, keeps it alive for the MetroStars. Thinking about it, tripped up by Alegria. Dangerous free kick situation for the MetroStars. And the MetroStars are chock full of former DC United players, led by that man, Jaime Moreno, Lisi, Williams, Eddie Pope, who's not here today, Craig Zadie.
Lisi leads MLS in game-winning assists with 3 coming into today, so he's made his mark. Richie Williams, as always, buzzing all over the field. Lisi credited with the assist on Jaime Moreno's goal. It just tied the game up in the 20th minute.
Lisi now tied for the league's assist lead with 6. Guevara, one-time strike right at Raimondo.
A little unfortunate there. He hit that. I actually think he hit that too well. If he would have hit that a little bit softer, it might have given him an opportunity to curve back, but it was directly to him.
Curtis with the foul. Ali Curtis, the former #2 overall pick of the 2001 Super Draft. There's Bob Bradley, 88 career wins, a former assistant coach here in DC United under Bruce Arena. Looking for Clark. Namath steps up, heads it right to Echeverry. Kovalenko. Curtis. Nice layback to Olsen. Offside is Kovalenko. Tomorrow, Bruce Arena's U.S. men's national team hosts Paraguay in an international friendly at Crew Stadium in Columbus, Ohio. From DC United, Ernie Stewart, Bobby Convey. From the MetroStars, Clint Mathis will be there. Final tune-up before the States begin next week's CONCACAF Gold Cup tomorrow, 2:55 Eastern, live on ESPN2.
Well, DC United has lost only 1 of its last 6 games, 3, 1, and 2, but still in last place in the East. So important game for them, certainly, to start to make a move.
DC just 6 points behind Chicago and MetroStars, who co-lead the East. That's 2 wins. That is how tight the Eastern Conference has been this year. East was really weak last year, and it was the West that was solid. Little role reversal this time, and now we have our first card. Ricardo Clark sees yellow. Not Clark?
Zadie.
Zadie in the 24th.
Craig Zadie challenging from behind. See right here, clipping Kovalenko's Achilles tendon as he went through.
I'm sure there's a lot of people who would like to hit Dima Kovalenko like that in Major League Soccer. That is one hard-nosed guy. A guy you love on your team, but hate to play against him.
I'll second that. That's for sure. He's a great guy to have on your team.
Well, Eric, you've played with Hristo Stoichkov. You've played with Dima Kovalenko, both in Chicago. You played for Bob Bradley there. How do they look in their new environment?
Well, I think both of them are still settling in. I mean, obviously, Stoichkov had a rough start, but Dima's playing in some different roles. He's used to being a little bit closer to the goal and being more involved in the attack, and it's been a kind of year for him where he's still settling in. He has the work ethic to do anything, and I think, to be honest, I think Ray's taking advantage of that. You know, but you look at this team. I think the one guy who really has made more of a difference in his team is Richie Williams, who's come over from DC, and he sits in that spot and does the kind of things that maybe I think DC United needs.
Hey, you wonder how some of these guys might not look up and just play the ball to the wrong guy, wearing the wrong color shirt because they were teammates for so long.
They made it simple today, black versus white.
Live from RFK Stadium in Washington, D.C., it's DC United in the all-black hosting co-Eastern leaders, the MetroStars. Marco Echeverri, a penalty kick goal in the 10th minute. Jaime Moreno, a superb blast in the 20th. We're tied at once. Here's Ricardo Clark. Rips one. Had Romano going the wrong way, and it sneaks home. That's crossed the line. MetroStars with 2 unanswered goals.
Wow, what happened there?
That's a goalkeeping error. Ricardo Clark, he's going to try his luck. He scored a great goal last week against Chicago. This one, he's way out, and I don't believe Romano really expects him to try the shot from this far up. But look at the time he has. It's also a bouncing ball, which allows his ball to dip and fool Romano. He cannot recover in time. The ball, obviously, knuckled on him. Perhaps we could see it from here. Petke's clearance, not good enough. It's picked up by Ricardo Clark. Ivano backs up too much, and that's a dipping shot. And it seemed that Romano started to lean the wrong way. By the time he could come back as the ball swerved, he couldn't get enough on it.
DC defenders giving the MetroStars a ton of respect. Here's Olsen. DC looking for the equalizer, sends it in. Kenny Arena pops it up. Tim Howard out of the nets and wins that one.
Some similarities between the last 2 goals given up by DC. In both cases, defenders backing up, allowing the shooters to really take an extra few strides to get more on the shot.
And again, they are playing without Brandon Prideaux, who would have been starting in the back for DC United today. He is serving a 1-game suspension due to a red card.
So the MetroStars counter-punching. Going down early in the match. Come back with 2 goals.
Mike Petke plays it back to Ramondo.
We'll see what DC does now. Do their heads go down?
Ryan Nelson, long outlet, wide left. Stoichkov working Zadie.
See also whether Stoichkov keeps his composure.
Here's Jaime Moreno. Already has one, cuts to his right, then his left. Plays it wide to Mike McGee, and that will not stay in.
That's just one of the signs to me that Jaime's not all the way there yet, even though he's got a goal today. But those are the kind of situations where when he gets running with the ball, he is at his best, and he just never got up to his top speed.
If you go back a couple years, not only did Jaime Moreno have a high speed or a top speed, he had about 4 other gears that were all fast as well, and he could really throw defenders off with that.
Moreno, 69 career regular season goals as a member of DC United. Has 2 already since joining the MetroStars.
Injury problems the last couple of years for Moreno, and this year as well. missing nearly 6 weeks, 7 weeks of action due to the lower back problem. Well, the MetroStars are 500 on the road coming into this one.
Tim Howard, an alternate on the U.S. men's national team roster for the Gold Cup. Casey Keller and Joe Cannon will be the 2 goalkeepers. Zadie, lefty effort, too strong and tall for Moreno. Ryan Namath, Petke, Olsen. Has space, takes it, plays it to Curtis. Curtis attacking Arena and tripped up. And a yellow card for Kenny Arena in the 30th minute. Second yellow of the game on the MetroStars.
Ali Curtis showing again a good change of speed, good change of direction. Here he collects the ball in tight space alongside the sideline. He swerves across. Arena comes in late. Might have been a little bit harsh in terms of that call, but because it's not his first foul, I think is one of the reasons the yellow card came out.
And you see the confidence in young Curtis going right at his defender to take him on. Here's Echeverry, the free kick. Driven, flicked on by Kovalenko and over the goal.
You know, I like what I see so far at Ali Curtis. He's just been very effective. I mean, a little bit less to be desired on a couple of those finishes, but for the most part, he's full of energy. He gets in situations where you like to see young forwards. They get the ball. Their first thought is, I'm going at this guy. I'm going to do him. That's what I want. That's why I'm out here. I like that about him. He's not slowing it down at all. He's just trying to speed it up. That's hard to do on a day like this, that's for sure. It's hot.
Well, DC, Ali Curtis especially, look very dangerous, but they're very fluid through midfield. There's a lot of movement. Remember, Stoichkov was out on the left side. Now Alegria is out there. Kovalenko spent some time out there as well, but he comes central. So when I spoke to Bob Bradley in the locker room just before the game, he said that was a concern of the MetroStars, dealing with that movement out of midfield by DC United.
Let's revisit our Pepsi Pop quiz. This week's question: which goalkeeper has started the most MLS games over the last 3 seasons? And your answer is in the nets today for DC United, Nick Raimondo, 67 games. Here's Moreno, looking to put another one by Moreno, or by Raimondo rather. Echeverry, counterattack time for DC United. Curtis, can he beat it? He wins it, he and Howard collide. And Curtis whistled for a foul. That was a 50-50 ball in this guy's book.
Curtis's speed again, and the timing of his run, causing all kinds of problems for the MetroStars back line. And Tim Howard's alertness saved a goal there. He got off his line very quickly, reading this play, realizing that this ball played beautifully in behind, that Curtis was going to get to it first. And because Howard was so alert, he does beat Curtis to the ball. Curtis gets there a bit late and is called for the foul. Good call there.
Tim Howard taking his time. Sends one deep. Ivanov wins it with the head right to Alegria. Stoichkov, back heel to Alegria, beyond midfield.
That seems to be the game plan right now, guys. They're just trying to spring Ali Curtis in behind, and there really isn't much support.
Moreno shakes off 2 would-be tacklers. Cheeky back heel to Clark.
Smart play, actually. He had nowhere to go.
Moreno settles a difficult ball, plays it wide. Bartolomeo sends it in. Mike McGee is there. Arena misjudges that one, but Forchetti has his back.
Well,
Hey, one of the things you were talking about, not to cut you off there, but You know, I'm watching what you just said about, one of the concerns that Bob Bradley had. And, Bob is a big shape guy. He likes having his team always in the right positions and ready for anything. The fact that Stoichkov roams around so much and Echeverry moves around so much, it is causing a little bit of problems for him. So just wanted to touch on that a little bit.
Well, and Echeverry's ball to Ali Curtis was what caused Howard to have to get off his line.
And here's Curtis using his speed, and he took a forearm from Arena. Arena's playing with the yellow. He may not be playing anymore. Good night, Kenny Arena. His second yellow in 34 minutes and change. Ouch, babe.
What did Ray Hudson tell Eric Winaldo a few moments ago? That would get straightened out later on in the game. And I think part of the reason Kenny Arena gets a second yellow here is because the referee earlier did not give a red card to Bartolomeo. And it's Ali Curtis, so getting away from everybody again. And there's the bump from it's Kenny Arena on the back of Ali Curtis's shoulder. If it's side to side, shoulder to shoulder, might not call it. But because he catches him in the back of the shoulder, it's definitely a foul. As he shoves him to the turf, second yellow for Kenny Arena. But Kenny Arena may not have had a second yellow on that particular play had that play with Bartolomeo not happened early in the match, the one that caused the penalty kick.
So brutal heat conditions here in DC, and now the MetroStars are going to have to play a man down for the rest of this game. They are holding on to a 2-1 lead and have arguably the best goaltender in Major League Soccer on their side. But I tell you what, a heat index of 101 doesn't do much to help you.
Bob Bradley concerned about the concentration of the MetroStars on set plays.
Stoichkov and Echeverry over this free kick. Stoichkov tried to go near post, broken up. Could have been a handball on that one as well. But the MetroStars break out. And you got to think, Ty, the MetroStars are going to try and slow things down right now. Quick whistle by Kevin Terry talking to Mike McGee. Take a look at our Bud scoring summary. Marco Echeverry started us off in the 10th minute with the PK, his 4th of the year. 10 minutes later, his former partner in crime in DC, Jaime Moreno, with his 2nd, and then 6 minutes after that, Ricardo Clark, his 2nd professional goal. The MetroStars with a 2-1 lead, but now playing a man down. Echeverry looking for Curtis. Little hesitation in his run, and he wins it. Gets hacked by Zadie, keeps his momentum, takes another bump, goes down low. Love the fight in this young guy. Curtis has it. Curtis fires. Oh, doctor.
You saw there not just a second effort, a third effort, and a 4th effort out of Ali Curtis. He's a raging bull. He won't be stopped here. Zadie clips him a couple times. What balance to get right back up, take another bump, get back to his feet a 3rd time. And his shot just off target with Ali Curtis. And, DC, despite being down a goal here, are playing with only Ali Curtis up front. But he's enough, isn't he?
Ali, floating like a butterfly, stinging like a bee today. My goodness, has he been impressive the last couple weeks. And the crowd chanting Ali. What is this, the Thrilla in Manila?
It's hot enough to be Manila.
Good Lord, is it? Foul there on Nelson. Boy, how sweet would that have been if that went home?
That probably would have been one of the better goals I'd ever seen.
Absolutely, Eric.
Well, just for sheer effort and athleticism, for sure. And not just the fact that he would not take no for an answer, despite all those physical clashes that he was able to fight his way through.
Curtis, a guy originally drafted by the Tampa Bay Mutiny. Really didn't do too much for Tampa Bay. A couple goals, couple assists, but he's really coming to his own lately here for DC. Ray Hudson said, Stoichkov and Curtis the last couple of weeks, these are guys who've been fighting for their jobs with swords. Well, they've been bringing in forward prospects, and these two guys keep a hold of their jobs. Stoichkov goes far post, looking for Alegria. Spins on Zadie. Craig Zadie wins that one. Outlet to Guevara.
Well, it bears remarking that sometimes college soccer players, especially attacking players or goal scorers, take a year or two to adjust to MLS. Look at Chris Carrieri, now really doing the job for the Colorado Rapids, scoring some goals. Here, Ali Curtis, as you said, didn't really make his mark initially when he came in to Tampa Bay, but hey, he's been a force today.
It comes down to opportunity. When these kids get their opportunity, they got to make the most of it. It's exactly what he's doing right now.
I mean, Ante Razov was a player that initially in MLS didn't quite make the grade. In fact, that's how he ended up over in Chicago instead of sticking with LA.
Well, good things didn't happen with Clint Mathis until he made the move to New York as well.
Echeverry, long ball, not on target. MetroStars and Bob Bradley set to make a substitution. They're going to go defensive right now. Once this ball goes out of bounds, Chris Leach will be coming on. His last game was May 3rd. And it'll be the rookie Mike McGee, we are hearing, who will come out for the MetroStars. So it'll be the Jaime Moreno show up top for the Metros.
That's a very smart move, too, because Jaime has the ability to wiggle out of situations, to still be a goal-scoring threat, and to have that veteran experience up there right now, because it's definitely something they're going to need.
And part of that, what you're talking about, really, Eric, is Moreno's ability to hold the ball as well.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, they're going to need to hold the ball.
Stoichkov, well, what a switch of play.
That's beautiful.
My. Ivanov. One-time ball, pops up, finds Curtis. Zadie put his head where Curtis's foot was going. Foul on Ali Curtis. And here is the sub for the MetroStars.
You know what, actually, he's going to take Jaime off.
My, is that a surprise?
Well, Moreno missed.
Is he just getting water? I can't see the
I think
number
he's
from
just
here.
getting water.
Yeah.
Although I will say this, Jaime thought he was coming out. He took off his headband, and he's like, he wasn't really putting up much of a fight, was he?
It's a tough call because you know McGee has a lot more energy being 18 years old than Jaime Moreno might, especially since Moreno missed so much of this season with the back injury.
But Jaime's got the smarts, right, Eric?
I'll tell you this, it's going to come down to those passes that really make sense. And a young player sometimes will make foolish passes in a game like this, and he won't allow his team to actually have the opportunity to get out. So it's really coming down to intelligent soccer right now. And I think that's what Jaime provides a little bit more than McGee. Not a slag on McGee, he's just a young guy. You can't expect him to be the lone guy up there in a game like this.
But with the ejection, the red card, it always puts a coach in a very difficult position, how to adjust his team, and sometimes that means taking off an attacker. Even one that's been effective as of late, McGee.
We're just a few minutes away from halftime. Veronica Pacey will join us, spend some extra time with Bernie Stewart. Youth Soccer Spotlight, a young team from West Virginia. Tommy Smith, it's your game. Is David Beckham going to be playing his pro ball in Major League Soccer down the road? Tommy speculates, and it's your game. That's all coming up at halftime. Nice step up here. Ryan Nelson slides on Echeverry, has one, tries to round Howard. Chips it, Tim gets his mid on it.
Boy, Echeverry was just toying with Howard for a moment there, but Howard's athleticism and quick feet and reach.
Tim Howard was caught in a similar situation on Wednesday, and he did not come up with the save. San Jose found the net.
Yeah, Echeverry is so fun to watch in those situations. We're just teasing the goalkeeper, trying to pull him farther off of his line.
Stoichkov, what a lovely chip. Finds Olsen. Head up. Service, drops it off. Kovalenko lets it go. On his left. Fires! Scores! Diva Kovalenko! We're tied at 2. DC in the first half.
Well, there was a bad sign earlier, a giveaway by Forchetti, which set up that last chance by Echeverry. But this one, though, DC spreads the ball around. They find some gaps. They work it up the right side. A nice look here, and the ball again behind the MetroStars defenders into a gap. Ben Olsen cuts this ball back beautifully. Nice fake here by Kovalenko, and then he just hammers it near side past Tim Howard.
Kovalenko, his 3rd finish of the year. Ben Olsen, his 6th assist of the season. It's 2-2 in the 44th. If you're Bob Bradley and the MetroStars, you just want to get to that locker room right now, don't you?
So Hristo Stoichkov, the 2nd assist on the Kovalenko goal in the 43rd minute. Ben Olsen, of course, the player who cut the ball back from the end line to find Kovalenko, who was trailing the play and found that space near the top of Tim Howard's penalty area.
So Stoichkov now with points in 3 of DC's last 4 games. Looking for more. Sends that one in, headed out by Zadie, but not very well, right to Olsen. DC is just toying with this undermanned MetroStars squad right now. Alegria trying to get in the mix, sends one far post. There's Olsen, plays it right across the box. Nobody in there for DC United.
And DC's the team with the extra player.
Hey, the prey is wounded. Go in for the kill.
But on that tying goal for DC, the way they spread the play is the way you should attack when you have that extra man. It stretches the MetroStars defense, who is down a man.
One minute of stoppage time in the first half. Brian Namath showing some fight to his game. He gets fouled. Your goal scorers for DC, Echeverry and Kovalenko. For the MetroStars, Moreno and Clark.
And the MetroStars, a man down. Since the 2nd yellow to Kenny Arena.
MetroStars have not been a good team scoring in the first half. Their last 2 games, 5 first half goals. Here's Olsen to Echeverry. About 15 seconds left in this first half. Zadie plays it back to Howard. Settles and clears.
Zadie perhaps having the best success staying with Ali Curtis's acceleration up front for DC.
And that is it for an extremely entertaining first half. I'll be honest, we did not expect this much energy from these two sides, having played not only on Wednesday, but in brutal weather conditions. 4 goals total in the first 45 minutes. DC opened it up in the 10th minute and concluded it in the 43rd, and we sit tied at 2s right now. And welcome back to Radio Shack presents MLS Soccer Saturday. Ty Keogh, Rob Stone with you. These two teams in the middle of the pack and down low as far as goals scored per game, but their offenses are clicking today.
We've seen some good play out of midfield, especially as these teams have varied their attack and it's created goals. The first one, a wonderful pass by Hristo Stoichkov into the gap for Ali Curtis, who sprints in behind Bartolomeo. Bartolomeo whacks him down from behind, setting up this penalty kick for Marco Echeverry. Good start at home for DC United, but here, lax defending. Petke keeps backing up. Jaime Moreno picks his corner to tie the game. And then Ricardo Clark. How about this dipper from long range? It eludes Raimondo. And then the tying goal, though, for Kovalenko after getting the ball from Olsen. He rips the cords.
Fireworks all weekend long in MLS. Started Wednesday, runs through tonight. And we are underway in the second half. No subs for either team coming out of the halftime locker room. Kenny Arena received his 2nd yellow card in the 35th minute. So they are playing down a man for the remainder of this one. We'd like to thank Pepsi and all of our Major League Soccer sponsors for allowing us to bring you today's game without interruption. Stoichkov's cross broken up by Chris Leach, who came on for Mike McGee. And that'll be a throw-in for the Mad Bulgarian.
Both of the yellow cards to Kenny Arena for professional fouls. First one in the 30th minute, the second one in the 35th minute.
Guys, look at the setup right now. It's just, they're just totally in their own end, getting as many people behind the ball as possible. It's going to be a long half.
Well, the MetroStars, if there's any club in MLS who knows how to play defensive, it's the Bob Bradley-led MetroStars. They came into this game allowing the fewest goals in Major League Soccer. When tied at halftime, DC United has seen their day end that way. 0-6.
And you got to think they'd be disappointed to come away with this game, from this game, with a tie. You're at home, you're playing against 10 men, you got to win.
Absolutely.
Well, we've seen already the experience of Marco Echeverri and Hristo Stoichkov produce dividends for DC United today.
Here is Curtis. Such confidence on the ball that I haven't seen from him ever, really. And that's not a knock on him, Eric. He's just playing on another level.
Or as Ray Hudson told us in the locker room before the game, he's taking it to another planet.
Ben Olsen, quick throw in back to the captain, Ryan Nelson, intercepted by Jaime Moreno. Petke, Kovalenko, Ivanov to his Bulgarian mate, Stoichkov. Good hustle by Moreno to win that ball back.
This is kind of what we talked about before, his ability to hold the ball.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if the legs are really there.
They really aren't, but
yeah.
he's still making that effort to run the ball out of there. I don't think there's too many players in the league who can bring that to a team in this kind of situation.
Coming into today, Moreno had played just 257 minutes.
Good ball there by Moreno.
Clark. Zadie, wide open, Guevara.
But he's 1 against 5 almost. Here comes Moreno, though.
Foul on Nemoff. And Ty, sometimes we actually see teams who are man down play smarter, better soccer.
Well, not only that, there seems to be a psychological effect sometimes on the team that has the extra player. They might relax a little bit, thinking, hey, we've got it made, we've got the extra guy. And, you know, and if they get a little lackadaisical, they can end up, and we've seen it happen so many times, the team actually with the extra man ends up losing the game.
Brian Nemoff receives a yellow card for that foul in the 49th minute. 4th yellow of the game, first on DC. And Eric, let's revisit Ali Curtis, his sensational first half.
It was quite a half. I mean, I think the one thing that you saw is his energy. I mean, what he brings to this team is he has terrific speed, but he's a smart player. He's always trying to get himself in positions. Look at this. I mean, he gets himself in front of Kenny Arena. Kenny Arena has no option. And then the second effort, the third effort, this goes in. This is the goal of the year, no doubt about it. It's his energy and his effort and his speed. And he's got 2 guys in Echeverri and Stoichkov who are recognizing that and getting him into good spots.
Well, Ali Curtis has become more sophisticated in his approach to the game. He is now making eye contact with Marco Echeverri, Hristo Stoichkov. So the timing on that acceleration in his run has been deadly.
And Curtis, probably the best forward on DC that works with Stoichkov. Here's Guevara, free kick, sails over the crossbar.
Jaime Moreno fouled a moment ago, and he got hit from behind, and it was a yellow card, but he's also playing the clock by staying down there.
And why not?
Yes, especially with the heat conditions.
Alegria. Ryan Nelson lays it back off to Petke. Nemoff.
Yeah, one of the things you guys can see right now is they're just trying to wait for that little opening. It seems like they're stringing 1 pass, 2 pass, 3 pass, but they've got to be a little bit more direct.
Echeverri to Nelson, the header. Oh, Forchetti, that could be a back pass to Tim Howard if he wanted to be a stickler.
Yeah, except he made it look good because he swung kind of erratically at it. It didn't look terribly intentional.
That's a beautiful ball, though, by Echeverry.
I was just going to say they're not direct enough, and then wham, there it is. I think that the difference in this half is going to be how quickly they can get the ball out wide. And if they can get it wide and get those kind of runs in, they're going to be effective.
And here's Stoichkov lurking wide left.
Echeverry and Stoichkov both pinpoint, and now there's that extra man out there for them to find.
Boy, you give
No runs in the box.
you give Echeverry and Stoichkov any much more time than they're giving them right now. They're going to place it wherever they want to.
And they'll find that open guy.
But they're having a little bit of a problem right now because they're both coming so deep, and Ali Curtis is their only option. They need that run coming from behind to get him behind the defense right now to be effective.
And that was Nelson a moment ago who won that head ball, that exact kind of run you're talking about.
Olsen looking for Curtis. Nelson goes high, we play on. Olsen cuts it, Nelson. That cross broken up.
Ryan Nelson,
corner of the second half.
Ryan Nelson had the first goal for DC Wednesday night against Dallas. That 3-1 victory for DC United.
You know, you could see this one coming. Jaime Moreno was going to come out of this game. I think that there was a couple of plays right there that I think Bob Bradley was seeing that the legs aren't there. And you're going to need a little bit more energy up front if you're going to hang in there. Thus Wilniak.
John Wallenett comes in for Jaime Moreno. This is the third corner of the game for DC. Make that their second. Echeverry, driven. Petke gets his head on it. Bouncing around, Forchetti clears it out. Alegria sends it back in. Stressful moment for the MetroStars. Stoichkov on his favored left. Lets one rip. Takes out a fan. Coming up near the conclusion of our broadcast, we'll award the Honda Man of the Match. Hristo Stoichkov in the running.
He certainly is, because especially if you go back to Echeverry's penalty kick, it was Hristo Stoichkov's ball into Ali Curtis, which got Curtis into the penalty area when he was fouled for the penalty kick, and then Stoichkov had the second assist. He's the player that got the ball to Ben Olsen, who then cut it back for Kovalenko on that tying goal in the 43rd minute for DC.
I don't anticipate much more out of Stoichkov today, just to hang out on this wing. They're going to try and get the ball to him early. The earlier the better, and get those runs sorted out in front of the net, and that's how they're going to try and get a goal.
Stoichkov loves the situation. He can park himself out on the left sideline and really stretch the MetroStars.
There's Stoichkov. Ray Hudson thought he would get about 60 minutes from him. Lisi, one-time ball. Guevara has a soft cast on his left hand, playing with a broken pinky he suffered in Chicago. Oh, great work by Neymar. Unfortunately, the pass not as good as the effort. Well, the old guys showing they still have some spark in their game. Echeverry and Stoichkov for DC United have scored or assisted on 12 of their 17 goals this season. See so many teams in MLS going to youth this year, but the vets showing they still have plenty of bite in their game.
Well, a fairly youthful guy, Craig Zadie, is now dropped into a center back position. Started the game at right back with the red card to Kenny Arena. Those adjustments have been made, and got Chris Leach playing on the right side.
Bartolomeo has been very quiet this half outside of, or rather this game outside of the opening foul on Curtis, which set up the PK in the 10th minute for Echeverry. And there are some young, impressive legs warming up for DC United. That's Santino Quaranta. They also have Aleko Eskandarian warming up, who is about to run into the picture right there. Just ran right through it. The #1 overall draft pick in this year's Super Draft.
Santino Quaranta, the youngest player ever to appear in an MLS match.
Zadie, the arching clearance. Nelson wins the header. Williams back to Leach. Zadie trying to go over the top to Wallenett, and they connect. Wallenett working Ivanov. Gets around his man, takes a dive, and they bite, and Ivanov is going to earn a yellow.
Yeah, for the shirt pull, which is difficult to see from our angle.
I saw it pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good turn by Wolyniec also. He seemed to get Ivanov to commit. He spun him and was in behind him. And Ivanov, seeing that he was also getting beaten here for speed, grabs that left arm. Wolyniec maybe over-dramatized, went down a little bit easy, but still a foul, still a yellow card.
Down a man, tied game, hot conditions, on the road. It's situations like this tie that the MetroStars have to capitalize on. Guevara, the free kick. Broken up by Stoichkov, who goes to the turf. Flag up, but we play on. Guevara across the box. Ivanov slides it out for a corner kick for the MetroStars.
Stoichkov's been very vocal. A little talking to.
A hug and a kiss. I'm not sure Kevin Terry wanted that when he went over there, but he got it nonetheless.
What a scholar and a gentleman and a diplomat.
Oh my. Echeverry clearance on the Guevara corner kick. Stoichkov and Guevara collide, and I think Cristo made a meal of that one. Quick throw in, Wolyniec.
Good no
heads
call.
it down. Now, Hudson told us today that the more tired that Stoichkov gets, the more volatile he becomes. And you're starting to see that angle of his personality creep up the last couple minutes.
And he's volatile to begin with.
Yes.
I saw a little bit out of Guevara there. I don't think Cristo did anything wrong on that second play. It was the same scenario that played out the first time that caused the argument, but that was a dirty play by Guevara.
You know what? Guevara knew Stoichkov was coming in pretty hard, and all he did really was preempt it.
He could have easily caught him with an elbow. That was a little bit over the top.
Richie Williams. Ivanov is right there. Nelson heads it down. Nemov. Ali Curtis lays it back off to Ben Olsen. Olsen probing that back line and then plays it back.
Olsen with an assist on a game-tying goal at the end of the first half by Kovalenko.
Oh, excellent defense by Bartolomeo, and he outlets it to Clark. Wide open, Richie Williams in the middle of the park. Clark floats a hopeful ball, won by Alegria, back to Petke. All 4 goals coming in the first half.
The MetroStars, a man down, dropping back as best they can, supporting each other. They need to gain some possession and string some passes together.
Here's Curtis, back heel, Stoichkov, driven ball. Too much on that one as Olsen was cutting in and couldn't hook up with that one. The points race in the IRL IndyCar Series, it couldn't be tighter. Just 27 points separate number 1 and 2, and the championship hunt continues tomorrow on ABC. It's the Kansas Indy 300. My main man, Scott Dixon, sitting on the pole tomorrow, 1 Eastern on ABC Sports. Petke with the foul.
Petke also booting the ball away after the play, now being scolded.
One more of those and you'll have a yellow, my friend. Wolyniec over the back. Strong run by Kovalenko, tripped up. Incidental contact.
Stoichkov seems to still be pretty game about contributing in this game, and I think it's because he knows with the man advantage, life's a little bit easier for him. He can freelance a little bit more out on the left side. Ben Olsen will end up doing some of the work for him in midfield.
You can tell Hudson's thinking about it. Is it time to get him out and bring in some of those young studs I have, or do I let the old man continue? Misplayed that one, but still has it, trying to round his man, and Leach played the angle very well. And then a poor ball, miscommunication, corner kick for DC. Echeverry screaming to the ball boy, give it to me quickly. Let's capitalize on this one. DC leads the league in corner kicks, but they've yet to score off one this season. Miscommunication popped up by Bartolomeo. Nelson wins it. Zadie just gets it out of there.
Ryan Nelson's gotten up quite well on a couple of high balls for DC. And the more time that he can spend up in the MetroStars penalty area, the more trouble he's going to create out in front of Tim Howard's goal. And with that captain's armband, you can just see a little bit more edge to Ryan Nelson's game.
Nemoff dribbles through two. Olsen still showing that speed. Lays it off. Nelson, the cross. Stoichkov eyeing it on his left.
I'd like to see him pull the trigger on that one.
Echeverry. Stoichkov on his right.
There were two guys at the back post, both Ivanov and Nelson.
Williams. Smart ball intended for Lisi, but Nemoff steps up. Clark taken down by Ryan Nelson. We go downstairs. Eric Winalda, our Radio Shack Coach's Corner with Bob Bradley.
All right, it's 2-2, Bob. What do we got to do to stay in this game for New York?
I think we were in a similar spot a few years ago in DC, and I think you got a goal for us, Eric, when we were down a man. So maybe we can get your shoes on and get you. We need to keep tight and pick our spots carefully. I think we'll get a chance or two, but on a hot day like this, it's not easy to be down a man, so we have to play very intelligently and really stay pretty tight as a group.
Are you actually surprised that Stoichkov is still on the field?
No, I mean, on a day like this, when we're playing with 10 guys, it gives him a little bit more freedom on the field, and he can still do some good things with his left foot. We know that.
All right, well, good luck.
Thanks.
And remember, Bradley coached Christo Stoichkov, the Chicago Fire, the last couple seasons, so he knows that guy as well as any coach in Major League Soccer.
Stoichkov, as always, has entertained. You never know what he's going to do next, and neither do his teammates.
Nor do his opponents, his coaches, his friends.
But we came into this game touting the two goalkeepers, these two of the top ones in MLS. They've each given up 2 goals.
Stoichkov, just a little too tall for Curtis.
See, that's the ball I'm talking about. When he gets out about 18 yards, 20 yards away from the goal, he's just going to drive that right through there. And, you know, if they can ever figure out where to be, they might get on the end of it. But if he gets the ball to the line, he's definitely going to the near post. But he's, like Bob said, he's still very talented with that left foot. And, you know, I'll tell you what, I've been on the end of a few of those crosses.
It's such a pure, straight strike.
Richie Williams trying to penetrate, plays it wide left. And that foot race won by Nemoff. The energy level starting to dip a little bit in this one.
Yeah, sorry to cut you off, buddy. I was just going to say the exact same thing. I think both teams are trying to find that little bit of energy that's going to make the difference in a game. I think this is a great time. You know, I was just going to say there should be a substitution coming in. Ray's thinking about changing it up a little bit. So trying to bring some energy in there because it's definitely gone a little bit south in the last 5 minutes.
What you're seeing is both teams at times just trying to conserve energy so that they do have that burst perhaps in the later minutes of the game to snatch the 3-point victory.
There's a lot of standing going on right now.
Santino Quaranta set to come on for DC United, and he will be coming on for Christo Stoichkov. So Stoichkov gave Ray Hudson a few more minutes than he anticipated. I think Christo knows it, and he says, all right, I got about one more crack in here to pull something out of my arsenal. And Leach is like, I'm heading this ball out of here so I don't have to deal with Stoichkov anymore today. And Quaranta, who has not traveled with the team for the last 2 games, comes on, and Stoichkov is not happy he was taken out by Ray Hudson. This kind of guy is not happy he's taken out of a Tiddlywinks game.
Stoichkov's just not happy in general.
Here's Curtis. Echeverry. Looking to split, and his service does. Forchetti is there. DC having some issues, Ty, trying to figure out this compact MetroStar defensive unit right now.
Well, what they need to do is what they just tried there, swing it around to the opposite side and then swing it back until eventually they could stretch MetroStar's defense out.
Nelson, one-time volley, dipping. Howard got a paw on it. Corner for DC.
Tim Howard taking no chances there. I believe the shot was going over the bar anyway. But as he's backpedaling, he wants to make sure. Nelson, first time, good idea.
Quaranta on his right, has an opening, fires! Radio Shack presents MLS Soccer Saturday live with you from RFK Stadium in our nation's capital. MetroStars tied for top spot in the Eastern Conference, taking on DC United alongside Eric Winalda, Ty Keogh. I'm Rob Stone. Kenny Arena received his second yellow card in the 35th minute of this one. So the MetroStars are gamely playing a man down in real hot, sticky conditions here in DC. All 4 goals came in the first half. Echeverry, a PK, Jaime Moreno, Ricardo Clark, and then Dima Kovalenko for DC to round out the scoring thus far. Bartolomeo takes a pop from Quaranta. Next week, Radio Shack presents MLS Soccer Saturday, heads north. These MetroStars in action again as they take on Taylor Twellman and the New England Revolution. That's next Saturday, 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific. You got a chance, as did I, to see that Waldy Harris bicycle kick last weekend. That was a goal, but didn't go for a goal. Holy cracker. Step up by Ivanov. Williams wins it. There's Kovalenko. Loses it to Ricardo Clark. And then Kovalenko just takes him down, and I'm surprised that is not a yellow.
No chance for the ball there by Kovalenko.
Well, you talk about having this guy on your team and not liking him when you have to play against him. That's part of it right there. I think it's just his character. That's the way he plays. You know, one of the things that we should talk about right now is Bartolomeo is having a little bit of a problem with a cramp. Few guys now are actually starting to make frequent trips over to the bench, trying to get water, trying to hydrate. A lot of cramping going on out there right now. It's been a very hot day. I was really thinking that they've already gone a lot longer than expected. You can see him limping on this play right now.
Here is Bartolomeo on the ball.
Hey, Guevara made him chase that ball out towards the sideline, too.
Thanks for nothing.
Yeah, and why not at least try to get a goal? You know, send the ball up into the box. Ricardo Clark is pretty good in the air. You know, at least he could step up in there.
Williams has shown tremendous composure and energy. Lays it off. Leach to Clark. Here's Mark Lisi with time. Leach is onside. Soft ball. Walneck was there, but give Mike Petke credit for time in his step-up run.
DC looking a little bit lazy defensively, and the mindset is, hey, we got it under control, we've got the extra man, but if you don't pressure the ball, the extra man doesn't do you any good.
Well, they put a lot into this game, every single one of them. Even though they're playing against 10, there's a lot of movement that they've got to do to try and break them down. It's tiring. It's mentally tiring, physically tiring. The conditions are starting to wear on them. And you know, there's going to be a couple of these breakdowns now. They just got to really, really be careful in the set plays. But they can get scored on for sure.
And Eric, you see again the MetroStars taking their time, milking that clock.
No, it would be a moral victory for the MetroStars to come out of here with the 1 point for the tie.
Away! Flicked across, and Olsen is there to toe poke it out. Driven back in by Lisi. Here's Kovalenko, and a chance for DC to break. Bartolomeo shaking off the cramp and wins it back for the Metros, and he gets it back to Guevara. Guevara with an opening. Onside, nope, flag comes up. You're right, Ty. This DCD is getting lazy and getting burned.
Well, Wolyniec has shown some speed and really some enterprise in making some strong runs. This time, though, we'll have a look. In fact, yeah, he is behind that line of DC United defenders when the ball's played by about the width of his body. But going back to that Kovalenko foul on Ricardo Clark just a couple of moments ago, hey, if you're Kenny Arena, you're saying, hey, where's the yellow card there?
DC very deep as far as young forwards are concerned, but their defensive back line has been decimated. They really have nobody to turn to. And it looks like they're going to turn to more youth and more energy and more speed up top. Devin Barclay will be coming on for Ben Olsen, we've been told. And here's Olsen making that run. Drops to Kovalenko. And here is the sub, Devin Barclay, a Project 40 player. Last season with San Jose, 12 games played, 2 starts, 0 points.
Positive game for Ben Olsen. Very positive game. Good to see him playing well again.
What did you like about his game, Eric?
Well, I think his commitment to try and get him behind. I mean, obviously, he made some great runs. He's starting to be the player that we're used to seeing out of him. You know, he's not, you know, a full game fit right now, but the energy was there today, and I liked what I saw. He was pretty good.
Quality assist also on the goal by Kovalenko that tied the game.
Petke with the foul.
It's a pretty good job there. As a forward, that's the kind of thing you want to do. Wolyniec is just trying to get in spots where he's going to get fouled, or he can at least hold the ball for his team and let people rest. Here comes the water. It's just, that's the kind of game it's going to be.
Free kick for the MetroStars. Again, Guevara.
Guevara's been disappointing on these free kick situations in this game.
Hey! Hey, man. Left, Marco!
Two-man wall. Guevara floats it right at Romano.
Yeah, he's overhit several of these free kick situations for the MetroStars. And when you have a guy with his skill and his vision, and you want him to contribute in the flow of play, he's very good at that, but you also know that he has that precise passing ability with his right foot, which hasn't been there for him today.
Nick Raimondo, great gun in the outlet to midfield. MetroStars will concede that all afternoon long. Curtis, what a factor he was in the first half. Zadie, well won, but it goes to Echeverry. Guevara goes down. We have a substitution. Bartolomeo will come off for the MetroStars. Tim Regan, rookie from Bradley, will come on for Bob Bradley's squad.
Guevara with some big-time international pedigree. Scored 3 goals at the 2001 Copa America, where Honduras was a guest team, and ended up going to 3rd place in that South American Championship. And Echeverry here just getting tired, getting a little bit lazy, tangling legs with Guevara, not wanting to make that extra effort to track in and actually get goal side.
There's Bartolomeo, who'll be coming out momentarily. I'll give the MetroStars credit, Ty. They have done an excellent job working this clock when they've been given the opportunity.
Yeah, and Tim Howard's not been under any intense pressure. Not a lot of big goal-scoring chances coming. We had that Ryan Nelson attempted lob, and I thought it was going out anyway. Tim Howard made sure and gave up the corner kick. But, you know, they've given DC quite a bit of possession at midfield, but there's not been a great deal of penetration of the MetroStars in onto Tim Howard's goal.
So the MetroStars have used their substitution allotment unless they decide to make a goalkeeper change.
And as a player right now, you kind of look around and you say, all right, that's it. These are the guys that have to work to make sure that they get a result. And that's why they're probably just going to go in a full defensive shell.
Nelson spins by Wallenek. Now will go right to Tim Howard. Mark Lisi. Aggressive tackle by Barclay to win it back for DC. Etcheverry, long lefty service, finds Zadie.
Etcheverry trying to change the tempo there. There's been so many just sideways passes for DC United as the MetroStars, as you mentioned. Rob have filtered back and just frustrated them a bit. So it maybe wasn't the wisest decision, but it might have been worth a try.
Here's Clark finding an opening, slides through two. Tripped up by Alegria, and we will have the third yellow of the second half on a DC player.
Ty, going back to that, I think you're exactly right. I mean, I think if they're going to break them down, if they allow them to get defensive shape, it'll be much harder to break them down. Marco's just trying to get that one ball that beats everybody. And, you know, why not? You're going to have to try something. It almost worked on Nelson. He almost got in on a header at the beginning of the half, but it's just got to be more direct.
Guevara again the free kick, looking for Wallenek, who does get his head on it. Ball almost dropped with Nelson. The captain was there to sky it up. Leach, and then Caranto wins it. Etcheverry, not enough in the tank to win that race. And a little bump on Zadie. Play on.
Yeah, El Diablo is still very strong on the ball.
And the Metros, they win it and they slow it.
And they can't afford to give it away either.
Alegria. Curtis. Zadie on his back. Curtis double teamed. Leach just shoves him to the turf. And it's a goal kick for the MetroStars. Both teams missing some of their big guns today because they're with Bruce Arena and the U.S. men's national team as they get set for their international match versus Paraguay tomorrow at Crew Stadium up in Columbus, Ohio. Live coverage on ESPN2, 2:55 Eastern, 11:55 a.m. Pacific. It's the final tune-up before the U.S. begins next week's CONCACAF Gold Cup. They open it up in New England versus El Salvador on Saturday, part of a triple header up in Foxborough, Massachusetts. The sandwich, or the middle game of that sandwich, is Radio Shack presents MLS Soccer Saturday. MetroStars taking on New England. Right after that, at about 6:30, is the U.S. game. If you're a soccer junkie, Massachusetts is where you want to be next weekend.
Get out to Gillette Stadium, the Big Razor.
Etcheverry. Read well by Ivanov. Nelson finds Caranta. Turns, faces. Kovalenko. Loose ball. Zadie is there, man down. It's Forchetti in the box for the MetroStars. You have to think this may be a bit of a time-wasting maneuver as well. But let's recap this game, and the goal-scoring tie began in the 10th minute, courtesy of Marco Etcheverry.
Fireworks in the first half, no question. DC United stepping it up, and Hristo Stoichkov providing a wonderful ball into Ali Curtis. Curtis was taken down. Etcheverry scores the penalty kick. Then Jaime Moreno nodded the score for the MetroStars, and then Ricardo Clark put the MetroStars up, and Kovalenko from Ben Olsen tied the game in the 43rd minute, and that's where we are, 2 apiece.
There's your Bud scoring summary. Etcheverry, his 4th of the year. Moreno, his 2nd. Clark, his 2nd in as many weeks. And Kovalenko, his 3rd finish of the season. You have to anticipate there's going to be a rather large chunk of stoppage time added on to to this game, and DC United set to make another substitution, and the #1 draft pick, Alecko Eskandarian, coming on for Ali Curtis. Curtis has been a revelation for DC United, and the crowd appreciates it.
I'll tell you what, when you get a half a standing ovation from this crowd on this kind of day, you know you put a good day's work in. You know, Ali Curtis was the difference for me today. He did run out of gas a little bit near the end, but that's the kind of effort this team needs to be effective and successful.
Eskandarian, a known goal scorer at the collegiate level, no question, and was with some of the U.S. youth national teams. Of course, Esky, his father, played for the New York Cosmos back in the days of the NASL.
Eskandarian with 2 goals and an assist this his rookie year. He's been overshadowed by some of the other rookies, Mike McGee, the MetroStars, and Damani Ralph of Chicago, who've put up some solid numbers. I've obviously seen a lot more playing time. Here's Guevara, a little 2v2 break for the Metros. Working Petke on his left, still on his left, fires, Ramondo is there. Is it me, or is the DC defense not shutting them down early enough?
Yeah, they're impersonating sundials. They're just standing. Guevara's going at them and found his way through for the shot.
Kovalenko fouled by Clark, a temporary play on before the whistle. And that's a look at Guevara way behind the field of play, and he's holding his left knee, and the MetroStars are out of field substitutions.
Yeah, Guevara has this huge amount of time, space to run at Petke. Petke not getting much support there. Setting up that shot for Guevara.
And Guevara is now down on the field. DC's continuing to play. Kevin Terry is telling Santino Quaranta, man down, and Santino not happy about that. They had a chance, they had an opportunity, and DC faithful fans are starting to get on some of this time-wasting moves by the MetroStars. I'm not saying this is a time-wasting, this could be an injury, but when you see it so many times in a brief amount of period, you know, there's some blood on the knee, but I think we've all played through worse.
Good little move. There's a gap there in the DC United defense, and he just scrapes the left knee as he goes down. And
that's a rug burn.
Yeah, he's making the most of it, knowing his team's a man down, knowing that the clock right now on the side of the MetroStars, because they're looking to end this game in a tie.
Let me tell you, Guevara did a horrible job of acting on their Wednesday game. Took a towel whip from a member of the San Jose Earthquakes, Ramiro Corrales, who was on the bench. And I'm not talking like a whip. The towel was wet. It just kind of grazed his chest. And he went down in the heap, covering his eyes, saying he was hit in the face. Now, this is a guy who I have a lot of respect for as a player, but things like that just give this game a bad name.
What I was going to say is, look, he better be hurt to come off. Your team's
now down 2 men
like this. You need men out there, and you know what? I don't know if
he's back on now, though.
He'll be back on, and he'll be fine. And you know, it just was a time-wasting thing. But I was like, that still is not a very good move when your team's already down a man.
Well, he technically is not allowed to enter the field if he's still bleeding.
Kevin Terry has sent him back off. So again, now the MetroStars down 2 men temporarily.
And with no subs left.
There's Williams. Clark. And let me tell you, this time wasting by the MetroStars has gotten the ire of this crowd up.
Well, it borders on unsportsmanlike. There's no question about it.
A little bit, but it's more the blood issue now. I think he's making sure that he doesn't go out there bleeding. They've assessed it and let him back on now.
I'll be very curious to see how much stoppage time is added on.
Should be a bunch.
Might be a whole third half. Here's Lisi. Switches it, wide open is Williams. Again, DC with the man advantage that they've had since the 35th minute. Whenever Guevara touches that ball, a chorus of boos welcome him. Here's Quaranta. Too much dribbling. And Guevara wins it back, and here are the boos.
Mr. Popular here at RFK.
And a nice move, though, to avoid Alegria. Ivanov plays it back to Raimondo.
He's definitely going to be the villain for the remainder of this game, and you know, I think he's accepted that. He just wants this game over with.
Every good story needs a hero and a villain. Who's going to be the hero in this one? Eskandarian, the rookie, to Echeverry. Overlapping run by Eskandarian. Smooth cut to his left, earns a corner. We mentioned DC has not had much success. In fact, zero success off corner kicks this season. Floated in. Drops. Kovalenko. Kovalenko. Blocked.
The MetroStars, on the other hand, have been victimized on set play situations. They paid the price the other night.
Petke lurking forward.
On Wednesday against San Jose. In fact, I talked to Bob Bradley about what he needed to adjust in his team. He says, you know, we got to concentrate better on those defensive set pieces.
Taking their time again.
Devin Barclay with speed and momentum. That one hit off the back heel, and Tim Howard tries to burn as much time as he can, which isn't much.
Give credit to Richie Williams there, still hustling back, and the fact that he got a foot to the ball broke up that counterattack for DC.
Williams has played a manly man's game today. Kovalenko. There's Howard.
You see some frustration on the face of Marco Echeverry. DC electing to bypass him on these last several attacks. And really the main reason Echeverry's out there is to play through him, because with his vision and his ability to strike that accurate ball that we've seen already in this game, he could pinpoint someone for that game-winning goal.
Eskandarian. Quaranta has it. Pops it up. Is it going to get it home? Oh, Tim Howard! My goodness!
Well, Quaranta can't believe it. Simply astonishing athleticism by Tim Howard. And as well as he jumped, I was afraid he was going to collide with the crossbar.
With his head.
Yeah, exactly.
Not his hand.
Right. As he kept that ball out, and Quaranta was convinced it was going in. Amazing recovery by Tim Howard. Manchester United taking notes again.
Santino Quaranta almost had the difference maker there. Another corner for DC. Echeverry. Lisi is there on the near post to head it out of danger.
Well, the siege is on. It's the Alamo for the MetroStars.
That was the first time DC has really had some offensive momentum the last 10-15 minutes, where they've started to string some things together now. Metro's just hanging on.
Well, I mean, not to correct you, but it's the exact opposite. They need to be more direct. When they're direct, that's when they're having opportunities. It's like this one.
Yeah, good ball right up the center for Quaranta. He wins the race. Ball lifted. Not sure whether Quaranta actually played it, but unbelievable. Tim Howard racing back and just lifting it over the bar.
Tim Howard is a specimen between the pipes.
Yeah, I'd say he's pretty good.
Four minutes of stoppage time will be added on. That's a little light. Here's Kovalenko. Eskandarian. Barclay using some speed, trying to get by his man to no avail. Goal kick.
Now, they're not going to have a lot of success when they don't get the ball wide quick enough, or they don't play direct. Right now, New York is just bunkered in there. They're not going to allow you to have much room to play, and they'll just deal with the crosses because Tim Howard's pretty good on crosses.
Well, Eric's exactly right. If the ball doesn't get out wide early, it's a 1 against 2. The MetroStars hustling over there. Devin Barkley had to try and beat 2 defenders, and it was pretty easy for the defenders to shut him off from the ball. I think it was Timmy Reagan that put his body in front of him.
Barclay tripped up by Regan. Both teams have used their full allotment of field player substitutions.
Well, this should be better now. Get it to him directly. He's got a lot more room to work with.
Kovalenko already has 1 today, looking for 2. Barclay floats it in. Echeverry heads it up. Zadie clears it out.
The MetroStars with about 6 defenders strung across the penalty area.
Ryan Nelson swings it far left. Quaranta was in an offside position.
You know, I blame that on Quaranta. He's got to know that he's in an offside position. He can look all the way across the field. He knows exactly what the line of defense is. Why not just take another step back and make sure you can finish the play?
Well, that sadly is a little bit of a commentary overall on Santino Quaranta, who stepped into this league as a 16-year-old, scored 5 goals in the 2001 season, and hasn't really matured enough to become an impact player in this league. He's had some injury problems, and some of it, we talked to Ray Hudson about it before the game in the locker room. He says, you know, he had to really rattle his cage to get him back in focus here in this season, 2003. Now his 3rd season as a pro.
Here is Quaranta. To Echeverry in the box. The lefty so dangerous. Cross. Header! Oh! What could have been for Eskandarian?
He knows that it doesn't get any better than that. Echeverry set the table for him. Echeverry spins, beats 2 defenders, delivers it straight onto Eskandarian's head. And you know, much like Mike McGee about 3 weeks ago at Giant Stadium, at the professional level, you have to put those on target. Now, if Tim Howard makes an unbelievable stop, well, hey, congratulate him. But the ball needs to be on net because Eskandarian was unmarked.
You see it a lot in young players. They try, when they get free headers like that, they're trying to put it in the top corner. The idea there is to head the ball down. You got to get the ball by Tim's feet. I mean, he's a big guy. It's going to be a lot harder for him to get down to a ball at his feet than just put his hands up, make a save.
Here's Walenek, a 1-man band up top. Lisi. We're about 15 seconds left in this one till we go to overtime. No time for a stupid foul. There'll be 2 5-minute sudden death golden goal periods. What a gutsy second half by the MetroStars, clinging to that 2-2 tie with a man down under brutal conditions. We'll be back to DC for sudden death overtime after this, after regulation. MetroStars 2, DC 2. Bonus soccer time on Radio Shack presents MLS Soccer Saturday 2-2, and here's how we got here. Goal scoring in the 10th minute. Opening us up, Marco Echeverry.
The penalty kick after Ali Curtis was taken down from behind, and then Jaime Moreno ties it up for the MetroStars. Ricardo Clark puts the MetroStars ahead, but right before the halftime whistle, Dima Kovalenko from Ben Olsen ties it up 2-2, and that's where we are now.
Neither team has won in overtime this year. 2 5-minute periods. First goal wins it. If no score, the game will end in a draw. I want to remind you that IROC Racing from Daytona coming up next. We'll send it right out there as soon as this game is complete. MetroStars, 0 wins, 1 loss, 3 ties in overtime. DC United, 0 wins, 1 loss, 6 ties. DC has already tied a club record with 6 ties this season. They could be staring at number 7. Again, both teams have used their allotment of field player substitutions, although DC is now making or rather the MetroStars are making a change. They're putting believe that's Eddie Gavin. So they've made a temporary goalkeeper substitution. I hate this rule.
Yeah.
By the way, I think this is just
Subverting.
cheating.
Yeah.
It's just cheating. But it's in there, and that's what it is. So what they did is they made a temporary goalkeeping substitution, putting Tim Howard, you see right in the middle, wearing a field player jersey out on the field. And now they're saying, all right, we're going to change goalies back again. Tim, you go back in. And Eddie Gavin comes back on as a field player. So all of a sudden, MetroStars are now playing 11 men. I hate that rule. Something's wrong with that.
It subverts the spirit of that rule, of the law, of substitution.
Now they are doing at least one correct thing, making him at least play a second in the nets. But this, you know, in the land of politics, this is some fuzzy math. Big time. And I'm not sure Eddie Gavin's the guy you want. Roll those dice, Bob. Eddie Gavin.
So MetroStars with a 16-year-old in goal.
Now, let's just say this is not an upgrade in the goalkeeper position. Howard roaming the back line with his gloves on. And Wolyniec does the right thing, get it out of bounds, and here comes the goalkeeper substitution change. As Gavin throws off his mitts, puts on the jersey, and the teenager now brings a breath of fresh air and fresh legs to a MetroStars team that has been depleted for the majority of this game.
Well, Eddie Gavin got a shutout minute.
So again, the MetroStars had used their full allotment of field player substitutions, but they are allowed one goalkeeper substitution. So they made a sub, put Tim Howard up into the field.
Gavin entered the game as a goalkeeper. Played about 30 seconds.
And then they changed it back off. No players came off on this one. Kovalenko wishes Gavin was still in the net. Plays it to Nelson. Alegria. Santino Caranta. Devin Barclay is offside. Let me correct myself. The MetroStars did make a substitution. So they are still playing a man down. I completely misspoke. Mark Lisi is now off. They used the rule to get an extra substitution, but not an extra field player.
They still have to play a man short. So Mark Lisi left the game when Eddie Gavin came in.
I apologize. But regardless, it's still circumnavigating the rule book.
It is convoluted. Let's show off our vocabulary here.
Tim Howard back in the net for the MetroStars.
He looked pretty good at right back for a moment there.
Might make a good center forward someday.
It's just fun seeing a defender out there wearing goalie gloves. Stoichkov holding the ball, waiting for the MetroStars to nonchalantly take a throw-in. And you know Christo's having some words with Leach right in front of him. Again, 2 5-minute sudden death periods. The goal is scored, this game is over. MetroStars have played a man down since the 35th minute. Mike Petke, Marco Echeverry, Devin Barclay. And he earns a corner. Is this the time DC finally has success from the corner spot? No.
It's a pretty good cross. You just got to get to that near post for him. He's just, these guys are tired, but you got to make that 5-yard commitment and you got to go.
Kovalenko making a run, settles the throw in. Trying to spin, uses a burst, goes down. Kevin Terry says we play on. Linesman had his flag up. Terry overruled him. Goal kick for the MetroStars. Screaming Eagles, screaming.
Yeah, he couldn't see it. There's too many bodies in the way.
Which is why, in those cases, he's instructed perhaps to confer with his referee assistant with the flag on that far side.
That's why he's there.
Maybe he didn't see him either.
Again, Eric Winalda cutting the refs some slack.
In fact, I think Kevin Terry's judgment was that he did, in fact, have a good enough look at it and didn't need a second opinion.
Here is Petke. Less than 30 seconds left in the first overtime. Alegria saves it. Both teams looking for their first win this season in overtime. Karanta, almost the winner, but Howard is there, and then Leach. Twice, Karanta has been denied late. And that's it for the first OT. Oh, Santino.
Well, twice in the late going of this game, the ball has been behind Tim Howard and headed towards his net. And Forchetti just stumbles. Quaranta, Howard gets a little piece of it. Leach clears it off the line. Before it was Tim Howard chasing back and pushing it over the crossbar. I'll tell you what, Tim Howard, again, though, by getting off of his line, if he lays back, he doesn't get a piece of that shot on the turn by Quaranta.
Did just enough to slow it down to allow Leach to get there and clear it off the line.
Good hustle by Leach as well.
MetroStars 5 minutes away from earning a well-deserved point. And the MetroStars in action next Saturday on Radio Shack presents MLS Soccer Saturday. They're up in New England. This game 1 of a 6-game road trip for the MetroStars. They won't be home until after the All-Star break.
You know, Ray Hudson is actually just standing screaming, saying, get it more direct. Every time we go direct, something good comes of it.
Wallenek, a wild swing. Petke, assuming Raimondo was going to play that. Nick finally does, but late. And here comes DC. Nelson, wide left, Alegria. Bodies starting to converge on the box. Ivanov. Kovalenko. Santino Quaranta. Loses it, here's Guevara. Does the wise thing and earns a throw in for his side. There's Mo Johnson, the assistant coach for the MetroStars. Guevara in heavy traffic, trying to work his way through Nemoff. Barclay working the 1v1 moves, looking for the Meg.
It's just too slow. You're not going to be effective if you let everybody get in their spot. You've got to get that crossover earlier.
Ricardo Clark through one, but couldn't get through a second man. Nemoff got clipped on the heel by his own man, Ryan Nelson. He's slow to get up. Just a few minutes away from IROC Racing in Daytona. Guevara, clever.
Nice bit of skill.
And sends it to Wallenek, who has it. Eddie Gavin took a bump. Oh my. That very easily could have been a penalty kick.
Bodies tangling in the penalty area in front of Raimondo.
Less than 3 minutes left. I think if that was during regulation, that's a PK. Kovalenko finds Devin Barclay. One-time effort. That might go for a throw-in, but it's saved for Quaranta. Sends it right back in. Nobody there. Forchetti swing and a miss, and Regan just says, let's get this thing out and regroup. Forchetti has lost his bearings the last couple minutes.
Yeah, we saw him stumble and almost give up a goal a few moments ago. It's just, he's got nothing left in the legs. Forchetti stumbling and now fanning.
Echeverry, the corner. Far post, Petke. Ivanov, what a save by Howard! Good gracious!
There's just no words to really describe what kind of performance he's had the last couple of minutes there.
Well, Eric, that's those toughest saves. You talked about it before. Down low, and he's a big guy. For him to get down there that quickly is amazing.
And here's a break for the MetroStars. Eddie Gavin, the teenager, onside. Slides it. He scores! Eddie Gavin, an improbable goal and win for the MetroStars.
You have got to be kidding me.
Eddie Gavin, his first professional goal, and look at the MetroStars celebrate. What a win!
The MetroStars just hanging tough as long as possible. Tim Howard keeping them in the game early and late. Gavin here lifts it over Raimondo as he raced down the left side. And we saw it earlier, too, that the DC United defense didn't have much left in terms of any sort of energy. They were not able to stay with Eddie Gavin's youthful 16-year-old legs.
The youngest man to ever play in Major League Soccer. Eddie Gavin, who came on as a goalkeeper, folks, remember that. And the teenager from New Jersey scores the game winner in OT.
Tim Howard's save just before that at the other end is what set up the game-winning goal for the MetroStars.
And that's why Tim Howard is your man of the match, the Honda man of the match with 8 saves today. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com. For Ty Keogh, Eric Winalda, and our entire crew, I'm Rob Stone. It has been a wild one in D.C.